stories of the night. New quarantine classifications over areas in the country announced on Monday night. Philippines vaccination rollout marks over 10 million. 17 million COVID-19 vaccine doses delivered to the country. 200 participants in the last SONA of President Rodrigo Duterte, the Congress plans. Office of the Vice President earns highest ratings in the third straight year based on a financial audit report. Filipino golfers qualifies at Tokyo Olympics. We bring you the latest happenings all over the globe.
My name is Milia Moreno.
And my name is Alvin Pelobello, and here are the world's latest stories. On Monday, during the President Rodrigo Duterte's Talk to the Nation public address, community restrictions are being announced in certain areas over the country. General community quarantine with some restrictions remains over Metro Manila, Bulacan, and Rizal until 15th of July based on the IATF recommendations. Meanwhile, Laguna and Cavite will be placed under GCQ with heightened restrictions. A second stricter community restriction, which is the modified enhanced community quarantine, placed in the following areas: Cagayan, Apayao, Bataan, Lucena City, Puerto Princesa City, Naga City, Iloilo Province including Iloilo City, Negros Oriental, Zamboanga del Sur, Zamboanga del Norte, Cagayan de Oro City, Davao City, Davao Oriental, Davao de Oro, Davao del Sur, Davao del Norte, Butuan City, Dinagat Islands, and Surigao del Sur due to the increase in COVID-19 infections. Batangas, Quezon Province, Baguio City, Bacolod City, Capiz, General Santos City, and 20 other areas remains at regular GCQ, while the rest of the Philippines remains in modified GCQ. Local government units can appeal regarding these quarantine classifications within 2 days, says Presidential Spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque. Travel ban remains in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, United Arab Emirates, and Oman due to more contagious Delta variant of COVID-19 until the 15th of July.
Philippines COVID-19 vaccination rollouts now marks over 10 million. Data has been recorded on 27th of June. The Department of Health tally showed nearly 10,066,000 doses have been administered by the government. 7,538,128 individuals had received a first dose of COVID-19 vaccines, and 2,527,286 individuals received their second dose of vaccines. For 17 weeks since the vaccination rollout started, the national vaccination reached a record high of 1,658,072 doses. The government says a possible vaccination to general public may start in the month of August.
The 10 millionth vaccine recipient, 74-year-old Nieves Gatacutan, a 4-piece member and resident of Barangay General T. De Leon, was inoculated by Health Secretary Francisco Duque III in Valenzuela City Astrodome on Monday. According to Gatacutan, she was overjoyed being informed that she would get the 10 millionth jab of vaccines against COVID-19. The Sinovac of CoronaVac has been administered to Gatacutan, as she now looks forward to finally getting out of their house with their grandchildren for the first time after many months of staying at home due to COVID-19 protocols. The ceremonial vaccination reaching 10 million jabs were held in the city of Valenzuela. Attendees were the City Mayor Rex Gatchalian, National Task Force Deputy Chief Implementer Vince Dizon, Vaccine Czar Carlito Galvez Jr., Health Secretary Francisco Duque III, and other officials.
The Philippines has received a total of 17 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines. Data has reported by the National Task Force Against COVID-19 Chief Implementer and Vaccine Czar Carlito Galvez Jr. on Monday night. Almost 17,456,000 vaccines delivered in the country. Galvez said 68% or 12 million doses were vaccines from CoronaVac Sinovac that has most steady supply right now, most diligent and delivers on time compared to other vaccine manufacturers. The UK's AstraZeneca 14.64% or 2,556,000 doses follows Sinovac. Pfizer and Moderna from the COVAX facility had delivered nearly 2,470,000 doses and almost 250,000 doses respectively. Russia's Sputnik V comes the last with 180,000 doses delivered. Galvez says nearly 100,000 doses of Moderna will be given to the OFWs, seafarers, frontliners, and government employees before the end of the month. The government is expecting arrivals of 5.5 million Sinovac doses, 1.1 million doses of AstraZeneca, 250,800 doses of Moderna, and 500,000 doses of Pfizer and 4 million doses from COVAX. An expected donation of 800,000 to 1 million doses of Johnson & Johnson from the United States government and 1.1 million doses from the government of Japan. The country has received 9,126,420 jobs of COVID-19 vaccines for the month of June alone.
The Department of Health are conducting investigation in the said breach of vaccination protocol. According to Makati City Mayor 𝗘𝗨𝗥𝗢𝗧𝗩 the prospective vaccine recipient had received proper dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Malacanang says this is an isolated case. More of the details from this report.
Wait lang daw po.
Sige na.
Sige na? Sige na, ma'am?
Sige po, ate.
Okay. Relax, relax na, ma'am. Relax. Okay, tusok na ako. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
This video is circulating on social media while the vaccination rollout in the country is now approaching at its peak. Video showed that the prospective vaccine recipient did not receive a proper dose of COVID-19 vaccine as the vaccinator fails to press the syringe during the inoculation. The incident happens in Makati City. According to the city mayor 𝗘𝗨𝗥𝗢𝗧𝗎, the vaccine recipient in this video had been vaccinated already with a proper dose of COVID-19 vaccine.
Human error on the part of the volunteer nurse. Volunteer po siya na nurse. That was immediately corrected. This happened June 25 and June 26, bumalik po siya sa aming tanggapan at pinakita po ang video at nakita naman po na hindi ho nga siya nabakunahan kung kaya't binigyan ho siya agad ng bakuna. So we simply ask for understanding from the public. Mahigit isang taon na pong naghihirap at nagtatrabaho po ang ating mga frontliners para ho mabigyan po tayo ng para ho labanan nitong pandemya na ito. Umaapela po kami sa mga nagkakalat ng video at nagbibintang ng kung ano-ano sa kawawa pong nurse na ito. Wag naman po ganon, lalo na at wala naman po tayong hawak na ebidensya. Ama namin agad ang pagkakamaling ito at humihingi po siya at kami ng patawad at nagbibigay din po kami ng assurance na hindi na po ito mangyayari muli.
Binay says it is a human error in the part of volunteer nurse.
Saka mga kababayan, no, tignan naman po natin, naka 10 million jobs na tayo at ito naman po ay isolated case talaga on the part of an overworked na volunteer pa na frontliner. So I'm sure the people will understand po.
Almost the same statement expressed by both Department of Health Secretary Francisco Duque III and National Task Force Against COVID-19 Deputy Chief Implementer Vince Dizon, saying that this is a clear breach of vaccination protocol. Duque said that the investigation with the incident are now being conducted. Duque assures the public that this incident are taken seriously and immediate improvements in the protocol shall be made to ensure that they limit the chances of this incident happens again.
The breach in vaccination protocols are happening over the country. This is the reason why Senate President Vicente Soto III wants to impose sanctions against health workers and vaccinators involved in misadministration of COVID-19 vaccines to the public. This appealed issue by Soto following the circulating video which shows failure to inject the COVID-19 vaccine to a resident in Makati City. While the incident has been considered as an isolated case and a human error that is corrected immediately, Senate leader said he received various reports similarly botched vaccination in other localities. Soto pointed out complaints they received with the same vaccination practices in Quezon City and told local authorities in the city to investigate further cases. Meanwhile, in Pasig City, Mayor Vico Soto says 2 fixers have been apprehended in the city for allowing individuals to get COVID-19 vaccines ahead of their respective schedules. Soto says formal complaints have been filed against the fixers. He added they will not allow such things to happen in their localities.
The Congress plans to allow as many as 200 participants in the upcoming President Rodrigo Duterte's final State of the Nation address next month. According to House Representative Secretary General Mark Leandro Mendoza, this number can be made possible while observing social or physical distancing by letting other lawmakers occupy the audience gallery. Mendoza compared this as the same scenario last year, but an increase in a number of attendees. Last year, only around 50 people were allowed to attend physically in President's Sona due to COVID-19 pandemic. A proposed 150 to 200 attendees may enter the plenary this year, but still subjected to approval of the Interagency Task Force against COVID-19 and at the same time based on Malacanang's projection. Government media were the only allowed media to cover the Sona inside the complex. Private media will be joining remotely. Mendoza says they are also looking to give individual access for attendees that are fully vaccinated.
The Office of the Vice President Leni Robredo received an unqualified opinion from the Commission on Audit, highest audit rating of the financial statement for the year 2020. This is the third straight year that the OVP had received this rating under Robredo's leadership. In a Facebook post of this OVP this Tuesday, these ratings honor the effort of exemplary transparency and accountability in the finances of their offices. The OVP still welcome recommendations for improvement and strive to be of excellent service to the Filipino people. The full copy of COA's audit report on the OVP has not yet been uploaded on the website of the agency as posting of this story. Based on COA Financial Audit Rating 2018 and 2019, the OVP improved it to financial report submissions compared to its previous year.
A free ride in EDSA bus Carousel ends this Wednesday as Congress fails to extend the Bayanihan to Recover as One Act, which dated this 30th of June, the Land Transportation Regulatory Board official said. More of this report from Catherine Landicho.
This Wednesday will be the last day of free rides on the EDSA bus Carousel according to the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board or LTFRB. Effectively due to Bayanihan to Recover as One Act ended on June 30. The funding for the service contracting program of the free ride program comes from this law. The Department of Transportation and LTFRB has promised that they will do everything to resume the program by allocating funds for its under Republic Act No. 11518 or General Appropriation Act of 2021. Starting Thursday, the EDSA bus carousel fare payment will start from 13 pesos to 61 pesos. According to the LTFRB, it is possible for the free rider to return but no final decision has been made yet. The free ride by the LTFRB and DOTR has been a big help to save workers and frontliners during the pandemic. Malacanang sees no need for a special Congress session to extend the validity of Bayanihan to Recover as One Act or Bayanihan 2, which expires today because the remaining 9 billion pesos fund will likely be obligated for the government's ongoing campaign against COVID-19. Earlier, House Leader appealed to President Duterte to call for a special session of Congress to extend the validity of Bayanihan 2 law, citing billions in unutilized funds. Deputy Speaker Rufus Rodriguez and Ways and Means Committee Chairman Joey Salceda appealed to prevent unused funds under the law from being returned to the National Treasury. On the other hand, Salceda called on both DOTR and LTFRB to release around 4.6 billion pesos that the government owes to service contractors, such as bus and jeepney operators under the Transport Service Contracting Program funded by Bayanihan. Catherine Landicho for EuroTV News.
Department of the Interior and Local Government warns the local government units against individuals who offers access over 13 billion pesos worth of funds for designated projects. Several reports had received by the agency according to Interior Secretary Eduardo Año. Vanessa 𝗘𝗨𝗥𝗢𝗧𝗪 with the details.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government forewarned local government units against individuals who offering helping hands to access over 13 billion worth of funds that are destined to finance local development and infrastructure projects for the economic stimulus program of government. DILG Secretary Eduardo Año said that he received reports from regional and field offices that swindlers are out to dupe LGUs into believing that they can help facilitate access to the local government, support fund financial assistance to local government units in exchange for favors, commissions, or a fee. Año added that LGUs should not transact with fixers, scammers, or third-party entity. Rather, go directly to the regional offices of the Department of Budget and Management in applying for the said fund. A total of 13.5 billion LGSF FALGU fund was allocated for 2021 with 319 LGUs green-lighted to access, where under the 2021 General Appropriation Act or Republic Act 11518. LGUs are encouraged to avail of the LGSF FALGU fund for their local infrastructure. Applications should be submitted directly to the Department of Budget and Management as stated in Local Budget Circular Number 131 or the Guidelines on the Release and Utilization of the Local Government Support Fund Financial Assistance to LGU in the fiscal year 2021 or RA 11518. Meanwhile, the DILG Chief directed all DILG Regional Directors to monitor and submit to the DILG Central Office reports of illegal transaction together with the names of groups or individuals involved in the illegal act. Vanessa 𝗘𝗨𝗥𝗢𝗧𝗪 for EuroTV News.
In our sports news, Filipino golfers Yuka Saso and Bianca Pagdaganan both qualified for the upcoming Tokyo Olympics. Saso and Pagdaganan secured slots in the Olympics after getting inside the top 60 of the Olympic golf ranking. Saso placed number 9 after winning the U.S. women's title earlier this month, while Pagdaganan is at number 42, with her rookie year turning heads in the latest Professional Golf Association. Philippine Olympic contingent are now up to 17 athletes with the inclusion of Saso and Pagdaganan. In the NBA, Los Angeles Clippers star Paul George has dropped 30 points in the second half of Game 5 in the Western Conference Finals. George tallies a career high of 41 points along with 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals as he brought his team on the road to keep their season alive. With this record, George has put up 20-plus points in all 18 games he played in the postseason. Other players in the NBA history to score at least 20 in their first 18 games of the NBA single playoffs were Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Kevin Durant. George comes as the 16th player in the NBA all-time leaders with the most three-pointers made in the playoffs history. The Clippers got their second win on the best-of-7 conference finals with the help of Reggie Jackson, who scored 23 points, Marcus Morris Sr. with 22 points, and 15 points from the Marcus Cousins. The Phoenix Suns are still up, leading the series with 3-2 standings. The Game 6 of this conference finals will be aired on Wednesday at 9 p.m. American time.
And showbiz, actor Alden Richards spices up social media by flexing his abs and shows his body transformation. Let's hear the report from Zay Soriano.
Alden Richards sets Instagram on fire with his latest set of topless photos. Last Sunday, Alden flaunted his hard-earned well-toned abs on his official Instagram account. The post garnered over 172,000 hearts or likes in just 2 days and counting. The babyface 29-year-old Kapuso actor grew it for his new role in the upcoming primetime drama The World Between Us. The photos caught the attention of 𝗘𝗨𝗥𝗢𝗧𝗩 and That's My Bae member Miggy Tolentino and actress Aliana Asistio. That includes a lot of fire emojis that matches the hotness of Alden's aura. While Aliana for her part left heart emoji. In a previous interview, Alden said that it is his proof of hard work and his affirmation that he is on the right track. Alden's fitness journey started around early 2018. He needed to lose some pounds for his movie Hello, Love, Goodbye, which also topped billed with Catherine Bernardo. Since then, Alden was able to maintain his fit body beautiful. Zay Soriano for EuroTV News.
Before we end, let's take a look at the current COVID-19 situations over the globe.
And that has been the stories of the night. News stories you need to know. My name is Milea Moreno.
You can always check out our social media accounts for more latest happenings all over the globe. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Alvin Pelobello.